This is your Peace News for Thursday, July 25th, 2013. Silver is trading at $20 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $96 per Bitcoin. Peace News is brought to you by friends of WeUseCoins.com and by listeners like you. With the addition of New Hampshire this Tuesday, medical marijuana is now legal in all 6 states which comprise New England. Ironically, the Live Free or Die state was the last among them to be added, although still well ahead of the rest of the country. Although now legal for medicinal use in 19 states, cannabis remains illegal federally, as even state-sanctioned dispensaries are being raided by men calling themselves the federal government. Eventually, people will see this type of behavior as aggressive violence, no different than what occurs in war. One small group of men is pointing guns at people and stealing from them, not because they're saving the day, but because they're following orders. One thing agents of the state can't steal are your bitcoins. Get started with Bitcoin at WeUseCoins.com. In other news, a federal judge has ruled that Nebraska cops must return over $1 million confiscated at a traffic stop from a woman who saved the money $1 at a time during her 15-year career as an exotic dancer. The money belongs to Tara Mishra, age 33, of Rancho Cucamonga, California, who began putting aside her earnings when she started dancing at age 18. The money was meant to start her own club and get out of the stripping business. State troopers confiscated the money in March 2012 after searching the car on a speeding stop. A state trooper found the money and suspected it was connected to drugs. He arrested everyone in the car. Police found no evidence of drug activity in the car nor any drugs on the cash. Fortunately, the judge in this case showed no favoritism to police. He said, quote, "The government has failed to show a substantial connection between drugs and the money." The judge ordered the Nebraska State Police to return the $1 million immediately in cash or check and pay back with interest. This may be a proper remedy from the judge, but should taxpayers really suffer the consequences of police wrongdoing rather than individuals being held personally liable? Speaking of taxpayers, you can bet this exotic dancer is going to get a 1099 form in the mail tomorrow. Bye-bye 40%. She should have held Bitcoin. Learn about Bitcoin at WeUseCoins.com. This next story brought to you by friends of Blockchain.info. Michael Hastings was a reporter who got too close to the truth. He was killed in a deadly car crash last month after sending a hurried email to his friends, explaining that he was afraid and that the feds were watching him. He's the journalist whose Rolling Stone story on McChrystal changed history. Then he similarly slammed Petraeus, and any Google search of the name Michael Hastings will reveal an arsenal of journalistic firepower aimed squarely at the establishment. The events surrounding Michael's crash are mysterious, to say the least. Friends say he drove like a grandma, but somehow witnesses saw his 2013 Mercedes drive at full speed through a red light, spark from the bottom, and explode before making a sudden 90-degree turn and crash into a tree across several lanes of traffic. Autopsies reveal he had not been drinking or doing drugs. Yesterday, Forbes put out a story about a new type of hacker which can hack into cars. Hackers can override the steering wheel, brakes, gas, and other functions. These hackers are using their powers for good by exposing the vehicle's weaknesses. The article specifically mentions that the 2014 Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which can negotiate stop-and-go traffic or follow a leader without input, may offer a hacker even more points of attack. The less the driver is involved, the more potential for failure when bad people are tampering with it. In the meantime, benevolent hackers argue that the best way to pressure car companies to secure their products is to show exactly what can be done with a multi-ton missile on wheels. Better to experience the panic of a digitally hijacked SUV now than when a more malicious attacker is in control. Perhaps the most interesting quote from the article comes from the car hacker, who said, quote, "If the only thing keeping you from crashing your car is that no one is talking about this, then you're not safe anyway." Peace News is brought to you by friends of WeUseCoins.com and by listeners like you. Please share this episode with your friends and donate Bitcoin at peacenewsnow.com/donate. Remember to subscribe, share our YouTube videos, and catch us on the next news network. For Peace News Now, I'm Derek J, reminding you that peace is the way.